Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to get into a topic that's going to ruffle some feathers, but it's also hopefully opens up a lot of interesting conversation, and that's the idea of endgame in this audio video home theater world. If you've been around the space on YouTube, Reddit, forums, you name it, you've definitely heard someone say, "This is it, this is my endgame processor, projector," and maybe you even said it yourself. I have. You can find me out there saying that I found my endgame turntable, endgame speakers, but here's the thing, and I say this with love, endgame is a myth. It's a mirage. It's a moving target dressed up as a destination, and today I'm going to explain why that's actually a good thing for this hobby of ours. When people talk about endgame, they're usually referring to that magical point where they've upgraded enough. They finally landed on a perfect system. The gear's dialed in, the room is treated, and everything looks and sounds perfect. And they're done. Finished. No more upgrades, right? Just pure enjoyment. I know this is actually my goal all the time, whether it's down here in my theater or upstairs in my vinyl setup. Sounds great, right? But here's the problem. Most people who think they've reached their end game aren't done. They think their end game is a single piece of their home theater puzzle, but they don't factor in the rest, the big picture. They're done for now. And deep down they know it. There's always going to be a next tweak, a new technology, and an urge to go back and try one more thing. But let's be honest, this hobby is as much about curiosity and experimentation as it is about performance. For example, let's say you get your dream speakers. Amazing. Then a year later, you move to a new house. Now your room dimensions are different, the acoustics are changed. Suddenly those endgame speakers need new positioning, maybe calibration, maybe a new subwoofer strategy, or you finally land that reference grade projector, but then a year later, a new model drops with HDR processing, less input lag. Suddenly you're on the forums asking if it's worth the upgrade. That's the nature of this hobby. It evolves, and you evolve with it. Now let's talk about the role of influencers and creators, myself included. Endgame is a powerful phrase. It's aspirational, it's dramatic, and it drives clicks. It makes you think, if I just get what they have, I'd be satisfied too. But that's rarely the case. I see reviewers call something their endgame processor or turntable, and then they replace it 3 months later. Not because the product was bad, but because there's always something new and because content needs motion to stay alive. That's not a dig. It's just how it works. It's clickbait, even if it's high-performing, well-regarded, and infinitely capable piece of kit. They have to keep you clicking to keep their numbers going up. Another reason endgame doesn't exist universally, it's completely contextual. Your lifestyle, your budget, your room, your ears, all of these affect what's ultimate for you, and those things change. Someone who lives in a small apartment might hit their end game with a killer pair of near-field monitors and a modest integrated amplifier. Meanwhile, someone building a dedicated theater might not stop till they've got 8 subs, 19 speakers around the room and on the ceiling, and a $200,000 projector. Neither one is wrong. Neither one is truly done either. Because we grow, our tastes change, our standards go up, sometimes our ears even physically change, and we start chasing different sonic qualities than we used to. Sometimes we even downgrade. We want more simple. But here's where the endgame myth gets dangerous. It can create an illusion that you must spend big or hit a certain benchmark to be truly happy, that your system isn't valid until it's final. That kind of thinking leads to dissatisfaction, overspending, and to constantly chasing something you can't even define. I've talked to people who finally bought their holy grail gear and were disappointed. Not because the gear was bad, but because they expected it to deliver a sense of finality and peace. But what they really wanted was excitement, growth, engagement, and for a lot of people in this hobby, that doesn't come from reaching the top of the mountain, it comes from climbing it. And let's get one thing perfectly clear. Just because a product might be the most expensive option available, doesn't mean it's the best option available. You can get more performance by spending more, but that's not always the case. For me to consider anything endgame, it will have to have been in my system for months or more, and it has to prove itself by delivering great performance in conjunction with the rest of my system. Don't ever think you can achieve endgame just by maxing out your credit card. Now, this video is not meant to throw cold water on your excitement about home theater. It's the opposite. We want to grow this community, but I want to put some perspective for people who are experiencing FOMO overload. Slow down. Don't chase hypothetical improvements. Address observed weaknesses. Home theater isn't about finishing. It's about learning, tinkering, improving, discovering new things, not just new gear, but new ways to enjoy what you already have. Find new ways to maximize what you have without buying more or replacing it. Find others in your local area. Do movie nights. Build a community to enjoy these things, and don't just continually chase the idea of better. And here's a hot take. Your actual endgame gear might already be in your house. Maybe what you need isn't more upgrades. It's smarter positioning, learning how to calibrate it more effectively, or just taking time to listen more intentionally. That's the stuff no one can sell you. So is the end game achievable? I still think it's possible, but there's not a single product that will do it. End game is the point when you don't think about what's missing from your system. You just use it and you love it. End game can occur, but it's not necessarily permanent. Again, what about if you move? What about a new technology being released? I think I'm closer to end game than I've ever been. If they stopped selling home theater equipment tomorrow and I had to live with what's in my room right now, I could do it. The most fun I have in this room, in my theater, isn't pulling something out of the rack, rewiring everything, and then spending weeks trying to get it calibrated perfectly all over again. The most fun I have is when everything's set, it's calibrated perfectly, and I don't have to think about the equipment. The people I care about are in here with me, and I can just lose myself in a movie. I want that to last forever. That is my end game. Not a piece of gear, peace of mind. Now, if this video resonates with you, hit like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what was your so-called endgame gear? Did it stick or did the upgrade bug bite back? Until next time, keep listening, keep watching, but most importantly, keep enjoying your theater. Thanks again, and I'll see you real soon.